All right, please come to rest. Appreciate your patience, jurors. We think we found the culprit. We believe it was a bad cable. So we've replaced that cable, and hopefully that'll get us going for the rest of the morning. Again, I apologize for the delay in getting started this morning, but again, we're still not behind schedule, which is a positive thing. The witness has been sworn in, Ms. Roeder. She's still sworn in. Counsel, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and just start the photographs over. The court's going to request that based on the break that we took, so we would start at 0055.
Yes, sir. Yeah, publishing at maybe a hair slower pace. Judge, for the record, we've ended on file name Odom A.0175, the last photo on that disk.
Okay.
That's all the questions I have for Mrs. Roeder.
Okay. Mr. Davis?
Good morning, Ms. Roeder.
Good morning.
How long have you been employed with Florida Department of Law Enforcement?
I've worked with FDLE since September of 2000.
And have you always been in the digital department?
I started with them in September of 2000 in the photography section there, assisting the latent print section, taking pictures of fingerprints and things like that. And then in February of 2001, I moved into the digital evidence section.
And when you created these photos, you were given the entire video, correct?
I was given 3 videos on 1 disc, yes.
Okay. And these aren't the entire set of photos that you created, correct?
No, this is just a portion of them.
All right, thank you.
Any follow-up, Mr. Williams?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Rader, you are subject to recall in this case, and so you need to fulfill the terms and obligations of your subpoena. Don't talk with anybody about your testimony here today or do anything that could compromise any future testimony you may give. Okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck. State your next witness.
Derek Benefield.
Benefield? Mr. Benefield, if you'll raise your right hand, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth? Yes, sir.
You can sit down, sir. Thank you. Mr. Benefield, a couple things. Our jurors are out in the audience section today. If you'll speak loudly enough, they can hear you and kind of speak right into the mic. That will help them with that. The second thing is if you hear an objection, if you'll pause your testimony, and I'll instruct you how to proceed. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Williams.
Good morning. Would you state your name for the record?
Derek William Benefield?
Mr. Benefield, do you recall getting pulled over here in Jackson County by a sheriff's deputy on October 16th of 2017?
Yes, sir.
All right. And whose car were you in at that time?
I was in my car, sir.
Was there anybody else with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. How many people were with you?
2 people, sir.
2?
Yes, sir.
All right. And were you the driver?
Yes, sir.
And the car that you were driving at that time, how often did you ride in it or drive it?
Every day, sir.
Was it daytime or evening when you got pulled over?
It was evening. It was still daylight, sir.
If you would, let us know, did the deputy tell you why it was that you were being stopped, pulled over?
No, sir.
All right. Well, did you have an idea why it could have been?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Stop
what
real
was
quick,
that?
Mr. Williams. Mr. Benefield, scoot that mic to him. I need you to speak up a little bit, Mr. Benefield. We're having trouble hearing you in the jury area.
All right. Okay. Let me ask you, was your speedometer working properly on your dash there?
No, sir.
All right. Did you think maybe you were possibly speeding?
Possibly. I was running by RPMs.
You're running by RPMs. Okay. So did the deputy make contact with you and talk with you?
Yes, sir.
Did he tell you that that's why he was stopping you, speeding?
No,
or
sir.
something? Okay. Why did he tell you he was stopping you?
He never told me why, sir.
All right. At some point, did you end up, you and the 2 people there with you in your car, did they end up getting out of the car?
Yes, sir.
How did that happen?
He pulled me out first, and then he pulled Forrest out, and then he pulled Skylar out.
Okay. And those are the other 2 people that were in the car?
Yes, sir.
Did he tell you why he was pulling you out?
To search us. He said it smelled like marijuana.
All right. Had you been smoking marijuana in the car that day?
No, sir.
Had you been smoking recently in that car?
No, sir.
Did you have a chance to know whether it did smell like marijuana to you in that car that day?
No, sir. I know it didn't.
All right. Did you and those 2 people get out of the car?
Yes, sir.
Where did you 2 go? Where
On
all
the
3
hood.
of you?
On the hood of the cop car.
How close or far away was that from your car?
About 20, 25 yards, sir, I think.
All right. An estimate?
Estimate, yes, sir.
Now, at this point, are there any other deputies or law enforcement on scene?
No, sir.
Did you and those 2 people stay about 20, 25 yards away while the deputy was searching your car?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever get any closer to him to see specifically where he was searching or the inside of the car?
No, sir.
At some point, did he tell you that he had found something?
Yes, sir.
What did he tell you?
He said he found a pin top
And then
Sorry?
he said he found a pin top.
Okay. Did he tell you where he found it?
Under the driver's seat.
Did that concern you when you heard that there was a pin top found?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you remember seeing a pin top around that area where he said he found it?
No, sir.
Did he tell you whether or not there was anything inside of it or related to it, anything else that he had found?
He pulled a baggie out of it, sir.
Did he do that in front of you?
Yes, sir.
You saw that baggie?
Yes, sir.
Now, had you ever seen that baggie or that pin top in your car before?
No, sir.
Did you know where it came from?
No, sir.
Did you tell him that you didn't know where it came from, you hadn't seen it?
Yes, sir. I told him.
What did he tell you?
He said I found out there ain't nothing I could do, sir.
Sorry?
He said there's nothing I could do, but that's where I found it. That's what he told me.
Now, while you were riding with these two other people before this stop, did you see either one of them with baggies or with a pin top?
No, sir.
Did you see either one of them make any movements or, throw trash or other things around the car?
No, sir.
Did he tell you why he was arresting you for this?
He said because it was found under my seat, sir.
And were you actually arrested and taken to jail?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall how long you were in jail?
7 months, sir. I believe so.
You say 7 months?
I ain't for sure, but
Is that an estimate?
yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Now, you've been in trouble before, correct?
Yes, sir.
You have been convicted of prior crimes, correct? Prior felonies?
Yes, sir.
All right, how many?
4.
And did you tell the deputy that, or was that discussed with the deputy at any point?
Yes, sir.
Judge, that's all I have at this time.
Okay, Mr. Davis?
Good morning, Mr. Benefield.
Good morning, sir.
Just a couple questions for you. Did you end up entering a plea in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said you had 2 other people in the car with you that day,
Yes, sir.
but you never saw them with anything in their possession, correct?
No, sir.
Had you known anybody to be in your car with any type of drugs or drug paraphernalia before?
No, sir.
The night before this incident, somebody else drove your car, correct?
A friend, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember who that friend was?
No, sir. It's been a long time ago. I don't recall.
Okay. Were you drinking that evening?
A little bit, yes, sir.
Okay. Was the person that was driving you your designated driver?
Yes, sir.
And did you not recall who drove you home because you were too drunk?
No, sir. I just don't remember who one of my friends did.
Okay. But you don't remember who it was?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you remember giving a deposition about this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you gave the deposition, you didn't remember who drove you home at
No.
that point either, did you?
No, sir.
And I'm sorry, and who were the names of the other people that were in your car with you that night?
Skylar Virgin and Forrest Martin, sir.
What was the second name? I'm sorry.
Forrest Martin.
Forrest Martin?
Martin.
Okay. I know these masks and the screen. And where were you guys coming from?
We was coming from Skylar's house, sir.
And where were you going?
Back to my house, sir.
And so the deputy showed you what he found in your vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And could you describe that for us again?
It was a black pin top.
Okay. And when he showed it to you, did you know what that was for or what he was referring to?
No, sir.
Okay. Did he show you the methamphetamine that he found?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you seen methamphetamine before this day?
No, sir.
You'd never seen methamphetamine before?
My whole life, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. And there were no other deputies on the scene that evening, correct?
No, sir.
And I know you said it was in the evening. Was it dark or was it just kind of dusk?
It was right before dusk. It was daylight still. It was still
Okay.
even, sir.
So while you're standing and the deputy's searching your car, you can see your car and see him moving around it, correct?
Yes, sir.
If I can have just a moment.
Yes.
Sorry, I did have one more question for you, Mr. Benefield. Sorry about that. And I'd asked you earlier, you said you'd given a deposition. That was in a civil case, though, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you are suing over the stop, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Williams?
Let me get the microphone here. The night before that Mr. Davis asked you about, that friend who drove you home, were the two of you using meth that night?
No, sir.
Did you see a pin cap or any baggies in the car that night?
No, sir.
Now, you mentioned that you entered a plea in this criminal case once it came to the court system, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why did you plea to it if you're telling this jury and you told the deputy at the time that that stuff wasn't yours?
So my lawyer and nobody was trying to help me, sir.
Did you believe that anybody would believe your word over a deputy?
No, sir, because my mom raised me like that.
Well, I mean, just that's a yes or no. Did you believe that anybody would believe your word over a deputy?
No, sir.
Now, Mr. Davis asked you about that civil case as well that you're involved in, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why are you participating in a civil case against the sheriff's office?
To get off my record, and they ruined my life, sir.
All right. You mentioned you spent 7 months in jail on this, correct?
Sir.
That's all, Judge.
Any follow-up, Mr. Davis?
No, sir.
Mr. Benefield, you are still subject to subpoena, subject to recall potentially. Doesn't mean you'll be recalled. You may be recalled, though. Thus, I don't want you talking about your testimony in here today or the questions you were asked until this case is over, okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck, Mr. Benefield. State, who would you like to call next?
James Christopher Fears.
James Fears. Mr. Fears, you raise your right hand for me.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to
Mr. Fears, you can sit down. Thank you, sir. A couple of things I want to talk with you about, Mr. Fears. One is the people you're talking to is the jury, and they are out there today, okay? So you need to speak loudly. We're having issues with these masks, people hearing, speak almost an outside voice. Second thing is if you hear an objection, pause your testimony, let me hear what the objection is, and I'll tell you how to proceed, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Williams?
All right, good morning.
Morning.
Would you state your name for the record?
James Christopher Fears.
And let's go ahead and just anticipate, try to lean in closer to that microphone if you will.
Remember, Mr. Bailiff, raise your hand. Mr. Fears, look at Mr. Bailiff. Look out there. That's who you need to speak to right there. Loud enough he can hear you. Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Fears, do you remember getting pulled over by a sheriff's deputy here in Jackson County, June 3rd of 2018?
Yes.
And who was with you at that time in the car?
My wife, Jade Fears.
All right. Were you the driver?
Yes, sir.
The car that the two of you were in at that time was that your car?
Yes.
Was it a car that you guys normally rode in and drove it together?
Yes.
Daily?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Where were you two coming from and where were you headed to?
I just came from picking my wife up at work, and we was going to Walmart.
Okay. And you said you remember getting pulled over by a deputy. Do you remember where that stop was and why you were told the reason for the stop was?
It was in Lowe's parking lot, which is right beside Walmart, and the traffic stop was because there was an issue with my tag.
Okay. And Judge, at this time, I would move to publish State's Exhibit 12F as in Frank, a disc of a body camera video related to James Christopher Fears.
All right, you can publish.
Right, for the record, that disc contains 2 files, and what we are publishing at this time, the file name is 2018-012574 D.S.C. Wester.
Okay.
Ms. Bittner, could you pause it, please?
How's it going? Hey man, Deputy Wester with Jackson County Sheriff's Office. The reason for my traffic stop, just doing a routine check of the tag, it's not coming back with anything for this tag. Do you have any registration or anything? Because that would help me out just a little bit. How long have you had the tag on the vehicle?
Almost 2 years.
Really? Okay.
No, a year. You got it last year.
Ms. Bittner, could you pause it?
They seem like that.
Mr. Fears, how long had you had this car at this time?
Around a year, somewhere around a year.
At this point in the video, are you, I guess, searching for some kind of tag or paperwork?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Mrs. Bittner, do you know how to turn that volume up just a little bit, or do you need me to help you? Okay. Judge, would that be all right?
Yes.
Let's turn it to about 75 or 80. That probably is good right there. All right, Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video, please?
Hang out with me. Do you have an ID on you, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get what I need. Here.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna need some kind of registration or something.
Tag
Is this your, okay, let's see what we got here, man. Okay, y'all just keep looking for that, and let me go back and run this stuff, and I'll be right back. While I work on this citation, Want to take your spiel? $25.54. 1065 2 Florida 27s.
What?
Driver is Frank 620 443 76 3680. So far. Front seat passenger is Frank 620 422 79 6380. Huh? See it? See if we can't get a VIN number for this and run it and try to find something for you that way, man.
Where'd you buy it? Where'd she go? Where'd you come over here? Y'all sit right here. Ain't through that paperwork. Did you buy it or what? No, it's been a while.
Do it.
Bill has a valid class of year ago. Signal 30 less is not valid.
10 call. If you will run a QH on both of them, please.
10-4, 25-28, 25-41, 10-74. 25-4, 10-4. 10-4.
VIN number. Golf. November. Echo. Kilo. 3. C. 3 6 9 4 7 Florida.
You gonna write any kind of citation or anything?
No. We're gonna go ahead and, hey look man, like I told you the reason for my traffic stop, okay? I'm still not finding anything even with the VIN number. Alright, so I'm waiting on dispatch just kinda clarify some stuff for me. You know, it's possible it could just be an error from whenever you purchased the vehicle. It could be.
Here's all the purchase information right here.
Okay.
Gordon's Auto.
Yeah. Okay. And you've not been pulled over or anything? No? Okay. Y'all just hang tight.
Did you request a QH?
Yeah. Yes, sir, I did.
How are you today?
I'm good, sir. How are you? Where did she go to, man?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. She was just standing over here. But, look in the back seat.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Fears, we heard a deputy say on this video, ask, where did she go to? Your wife, Jade Fears, was, of course, the only female in the car, correct?
Yes.
Did you see her moving around or moving things before this stop?
No, sir.
Now, we see that they're in your, these two deputies are in your car. Have you agreed to let them search your car?
Yes.
Okay. Please resume the video, Mrs. Bittner. Ma'am, if you don't mind, just standing right there.
Yeah, alright.
What were you saying about that? her, man, whenever I walked up, she was, man, she may have been messing around with her purse. I don't know. She was making some movements
Could
with
you
the
pause
bottle.
it briefly? Now, at this point, we see that this body camera, the deputy that's wearing this, what side of the car is he on now? The driver's side or the passenger?
It's on the passenger,
All right, what side was he previously on?
the driver's.
And at this point, has anybody told you
No.
that they've found anything?
No, sir.
Ms. Bittner, there was some audio. Do you mind skipping back about 10 seconds and then resuming the video, please? Thank you.
And then for her, man, whenever I walked up, she was, man, she may have been messing around with her purse. I don't know. She was making some movements with the bottle. I'll start on this side, I guess.
Here's this is about all I can find, man. It's
Got your,
tag fees, $200.
go ahead. Okay.
I don't know.
10-4. Can you 1065 a VIN number for this vehicle? 1 G Golf in November, E Echo, K Kilo, 13 Z Zulu, 46 R Romeo, 136 949 1048. You hear that on the QH? Yep.
Mr. Fierce, just so the record's clear, you're able to see this video, correct?
Yes, sir.
And at this point, what side of the car is this deputy back on now?
He's back in the driver's side.
Okay, and again, has same follow-up question I asked you a moment ago. At this point, has anybody told you whether they found any drugs in the car?
No.
All right, Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video, please?
Huh?
He told me they were going to Walmart. They got Walmart bags here.
Right. I don't know, I mean, she wasn't making like a real bad movement under that seat, but there was some, man. Some, just a little bit. Buddy. Who drove? Do what now?
And that's a bistro sandwich right there. What are you doing on that?
A little cigarette pack shoved in here.
That's always good.
Where's she at? Okay, she's still right there.
Ross right
In
there.
front of my camera that's recording. I've dealt with this guy over in
Brenda Ward right there.
That's right. That's exactly who that is. Give her that dog.
Some dumb?
Somewhat.
Oh, some dumb. Yellow shot one. He looks shot out.
Yes, sir. Yes, those muscles. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that seat slide?
Shelf slides too.
Gonna slide this one up, take a gander real quick. One thing about... Man, I'm in the Christmas spirit. I'm in the Christmas spirit, buddy.
Wonder why I was just coming with you there.
That's why, because I've been singing it. We wish you a Merry Christmas. I mean, I like to hum a tune in case something ever goes in front of the jury, you know? So they're not just sitting somewhere just...
So it's like elevator music?
So they're not just sitting somewhere chilling, hanging out. What we got there, my friend? Look at there.
Driver probably talks to us.
All right. Both of y'all are just going to be detained at this time, okay? I can undetain you. I just can't unarrest you.
Well,
All right, I'll explain that in just a minute, man. Just put your hands behind your back for me. You can keep that cigarette in your mouth if you want to. I ain't gonna make you just spit your cigarette out.
We found some stuff in the car. We'll tell you in just a second.
Okay. You can put your cigarette in your mouth if you want to. Just put your hands behind your back.
We have a female deputy search you in your purse. If she's going to find anything concealed on you, can take you to the jail. When you go to the last part, they're going to find anything on you? You sure?
2554. I have 2 detained at this time.
Show you. Sure? Anybody on probation? You're on probation? DUI?
I'll read all y'all's rights in a minute, okay? But y'all asked what I found, and just hang on.
Mr. Fears, is that the first time you saw that item that he says he found in your car?
Yes.
Had you ever seen anything like that in your car?
No, sir.
Had you put anything back behind that front, the front passenger seat?
No, sir.
Would you resume the video, please, Ms. Bittner?
You know what's funny, Mr. Pierce? The second time we were driving the car and we was racing you, and we found some dope within reach of you, and you're going to probably say it's hers, but I'm just telling you, all your stuff in there, I'm just telling you, y'all both have signs of use, and it's nothing against you, it's not taking with bad people, but y'all both like
Would you pause it again at this point, Ms. Bittner?
I don't.
Now, we just heard the other deputy make reference to a prior incident where you were stopped, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've been in trouble in the past, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay. And you've been convicted of prior felonies, correct?
Yes, sir.
How many?
4.
Okay. And you've obviously had an encounter with that other officer, but also Zachary Wester when he was a deputy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Please resume the video, Ms. Bittner.
have a drug test yet. I don't do that. That ain't what we do.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Little.
Man, I'm not doing anything. I'll take a drug test.
It's a little container with some ice in it.
I'm not on it.
That is no idea. That's all.
Sorry, guys. I had to finish my berry blizzard.
Another one, Rolf?
You have one yet?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been
She couldn't have done that.
justifiable for her.
No, I have not, sir.
You know, Rolf, I'm
not even a berry type of person.
guys, I'm not saying this anything. I'm just going to test the inside of it right here, okay?
Check fingerprints on that bottle.
Yeah, we will, man.
I do not do drugs. I do not do drugs.
I promise you that. I'll be honest, back in the day, that
Can you pause it, Ms. Finner?
But you straightened up now?
At this point on the video, did you ask that the item be fingerprinted?
Yes, sir.
And shortly before that, were you asking if there would be an option that you could take a drug test there at that time?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video?
I am straight.
Good. Good.
I didn't finish.
Yeah, no,
I found it, I backed away.
Yeah. And it's
No, it was right here.
right here.
Right here.
For my camera, right there. Okay.
Under this, when I slid the seat, it was within.
So it would have been for a driver to
the
just.
driver to take it, conceal it back there like that, not the passenger.
That's fine, man.
She would have had to turn all the way around to get it under that.
Yeah. No problem.
Pretty much an opener there.
Pause it, Ms.
Yeah,
Bittner,
it's
again,
right
please.
here.
Now, Mr. Fears, and again, we want to be clear for the record, at this point on the video, what side of the car is this deputy back on?
It's back on the passenger side,
Okay, in the front passenger side or the back?
rear, back.
Now, had this deputy with this body camera previously on this video been to that area?
Yes, sir.
And that's where, according to this video, they're saying these drugs were found, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, please resume the video, Ms. Bittner.
It's on my body camera.
Well, that's all we need there, buddy. Oh. Interesting, just a little bit.
Looks like me and you can run the show. We're the most senior two officers, I believe. It's 10-8.
Yeah, man, Zach, we got this. Go ahead and help him out.
Who's Ashley Gwynn, Shelley Simpson Jr., Simpson Jr., Everett Baggett, Chris Spears.
Those are all pillars.
Troy Deese, John Cloud. Do you know those names?
I'm status 10. I mean, I've heard of them just working over in D-Zone, man, but
I'm gonna run some of these names real quick.
that's fine, buddy.
You think?
Yeah. Check it out and see.
Well, I was eating chicken nuggets.
Well, I'm sorry about messing up your chicken nugget eating now, bud.
Well, it was kind of hot. I needed to let it cool off anyway. Rob, you can help him. I'm gonna sit in the truck for a second. I'll just clean it up right there.
Man, if it gets any colder, I'm gonna have to put my jacket on.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset it's not a little warmer. A little more humid is what I like.
Yes, sir.
Back.
All right.
We'll sit in my truck.
That'll work, brother.
I took my truck.
Okay.
Do you have anything to test to see what's in that container?
Yeah, we're about to test it right now. Well, I got dirt all over me, son.
Matter of fact, let me grab you a fresh one out of my coat. They test it in front of
Thank you, bud.
That way they know we ain't.
Well, here.
It's your bag.
Here, man. I got what I need right here, little buddy.
And we'll test it in front of them that way. Yeah.
Oh.
Can I see that, man?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you will just say he's gonna test it right in front of him.
I swear on my life we have never seen that fucking container. I know I haven't. I'm not lying about that.
Shards. I may be able to get enough to put in there. I might have to get us.
Man, this is bullshit.
Grab the
Nothing.
Hang on.
All I do is take my ass to work to the goddamn house. I don't fucking need to.
Can you grab that and split it up for me? That wasn't enough because I didn't want to break those shards up. Here. Have to get another one. A fresh syringe or a sterile swab. Just see. Yeah. Chicken nugget pork. Chicken McNugget. I'll be able to get what I need. Man, it's hot. There we go. So the blue discoloration tested presumptive positive for methamphetamine. That does have the appearance of crystal methamphetamine, okay?
It's not, is it? That's red in color.
Okay. You see the blue on the cotton swab?
No.
You don't
I see red.
Okay. Are you colorblind or you
No.
just can't? Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not trying to be smart. I'm
No, yeah, you are. It's fine. That's blue. It ain't a problem at all.
That's red. That's not blue.
Man, that's not either one of our shit.
Okay.
I swear on my goddamn life.
Deputy Lee, you see the blue? I just want to verify for the camera and audio.
That's red.
Okay. You don't see the blue?
No.
On the cotton swab.
Yeah, I see it on the very tip of the corner.
Okay. Thank you.
That is not ours.
Okay. Well, I wanted to arrest him. Somebody yelling over the radio. Who? 2541. Who is? That was part, I guess, of the background. She can't drive, though. I'm going to have to impound the vehicle because there's no registration.
From here with a single 30, Melanie Pollock. First name is Menie. Last name is Pollock, Thomas Bowen. Being out to an address in Greenwood, 1065 beginning lounge. 572, repeating 572.
On reference, medical call located in zone JFD20 is currently being entered. Driver license not valid.
Yeah, buddy. I'm about to talk to y'all in a minute. Just hang tight. Just hang tight, man. What I'm gonna do, I can't talk to y'all until I read you your rights, okay? So I'm gonna bring each of y'all back here, read you your rights. If you're willing to talk to me, that's cool. And if not, then you can invoke your rights. All right. So y'all just hang tight for me real quick. Let me read you your rights, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before I ask you any questions and to have him or her present with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to start answering questions now without a lawyer present, you have the absolute right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop making statements at any time. You understand each of these rights I've explained to you? Today, if you ask myself, Deputy Lee, or Investigator Smith to allow you to talk to an attorney. Okay. Having all the rights of mine and the questions I asked, do you wish to speak to me now about the incident? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of start from the beginning. I was behind you there on Highway 71 doing a routine tag check, man, which is what I do 100 times a day. Came back, that tag's not registered to a vehicle. Okay. So I pulled you over, right? You were digging for your paperwork, you were just trying to find what I asked for, right? During the course of that, K9 Lee arrived on the scene, and from what he told me, you gave consent to a search of the vehicle, right? Okay.
You get that out of my mouth.
Yeah, here, man.
Sorry about that.
All right, that's fine, dude. So anyway, so search of the vehicle. Underneath, now I'm not going to say underneath because it really wasn't underneath. The front passenger seat, we shifted it forward a little bit. And I mean, so let's say here's your seat right here. Right here was that little container that I showed both of you, and then I tested the contents in front of both of you up there. Okay, so it was seated right here. Wouldn't really been feasible for her to take it and like throw it up under the seat, all right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how it got there, whose is it yours, is it hers, is it one of your friends?
It's not mine or hers.
Okay.
I'm being honest with you right now.
You don't use any kind of dope or anything, man? Okay.
That's why I'm saying if you'll give me a drug test.
Yeah. You know, and that's one thing that...
Or any way, look, me and her both was arrested in 2004.
I saw that.
Okay? I stopped.
Okay.
I have not touched it since.
Okay.
That is my honest to God truth.
You mind if I look at your arms real quick, man? I'm just trying to... Here, you good, man? Just hang tight where you at right there. Okay. So it's not either one of y'all. I mean, have y'all had somebody in the vehicle, man, that
people
uses...
that drive with me. That's a work vehicle.
Right. And I pulled you over at Blondie's before, correct? And arrested somebody that was sitting there in the front.
Yes,
and I ended up arresting her again.
She is a dude.
The other, right.
The dude is too.
Right.
Both of them.
So, and then me and you may have had that conversation that night at Blondie's, man. You know, it puts us in a bad spot whenever we find dope in the car. You know, you're the driver, you're the owner of the vehicle. You know, you're responsible for everything in that vehicle, okay?
I understand.
And as far as the drug test, me and a defense attorney had this conversation in court the other day. Right now, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office does not have a way to test people for drug use on the side of the road. We have the field test kits to test the dope, but I have no way to test your urine or anything to see what the contents are. So, you know, I don't have a lot of discretion with a felony charge. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? When's the last time you've been?
Mr. Fears, a few moments ago on this video, prior stop is referenced where somebody you were given a ride to, correct?
Yes, sir.
Involving somebody that you were given a ride to getting arrested for drugs, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Had that person been in this car recently?
No.
Okay. Had they ever even been in this car that you were pulled over?
No. No, sir.
Would you please resume the video, Ms. Bittner?
Any trouble was it whenever you...
This is last time.
Yeah, it was 2003, 2004, something like that. Okay. So whenever I got behind you, did you think I was going to pull you over when you saw me on 71?
Yes.
You didn't think I was going to pull you over? Because you didn't think there was any need for me, right? Because you thought your tag was good. Okay.
Let's go to Walmart and get a money order, go pay my light bill, or
Right.
go to the house.
Right.
Get ready for work tomorrow.
The tag that is assigned to your vehicle is not that tag. The tag that is in the state system comes back to a complete different tag number for that VIN number that's on that vehicle.
That's the tag I paid for.
That's the tag you paid for.
That's the tag that...
And you wasn't mailed a new tag or anything? They didn't mail you a new metal tag? You didn't pick up a new metal tag, anything like that? Okay. Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yes.
You do have insurance. Who's your insurance through? Do you remember?
Progressive.
Progressive. Okay. All right. Who is she to you?
My wife.
So that's your wife. Okay. How long y'all been married?
20 years.
20 years. Long damn time. Long time, man. Okay. She doesn't use any narcotics or anything like that? Okay. All right.
She just got off work, going to Walmart.
Okay. Where's she work at?
Grocery store in Greenwood.
Okay. Where are you working at?
Anderson, Columbia.
Anderson, Columbia. Gotcha, man. Okay, all right. Yeah, if you just want to step up there to the front with her, I'm going to holler at her back here real quick. Hey, Miss Pierce. Hey, come on back here. All right, so I was up there, both of y'all said y'all want to talk to me. I can't talk to you until I read you your rights, okay? Because I am going to ask some self-incriminating statements. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before I ask you any questions and have him or her with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you without cost before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to start answering questions now without a lawyer present, you have the absolute right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand each of those rights I've explained to you. Today, have you asked myself, K-9 Deputy Lee, or Investigator Smith to allow you to speak to an attorney? You have asked us to allow you to speak to an attorney?
Not at this point, but eventually I will.
Okay, all right. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now about the traffic stop and what I found in the vehicle? No? Okay, all right. That'll work. Go ahead and step up, back up to the front.
What you got, Bruhaha?
They're both okay.
What's he saying?
I mean, here's where I'm at, man. With her, and I could be on the wrong track with this.
Come on.
But here's the thing, man. They're both in the vehicle.
Right. Everything in the car he's got badges in there
Right.
with his name on.
Right. I mean, everything in that vehicle, right, shows, that he has ownership. I've explained to him he's the driver. He's responsible for what is in that vehicle. Same spell I give everybody.
Yeah.
She was down there fiddling around the bottom of the seat somewhere. I didn't see her put it there. Obviously, I didn't see anybody put it there. But I guess the placement of where it's at, I guess it really wouldn't have been feasible for her to do so unless she completely turned around in the seat. And I did not see her turn around completely in the seat.
It would have just took him a second to just reach
Just
his arm back there.
Pop it loose.
Yeah. But neither, so what is he saying?
He says that they hadn't touched open since 2003, 2004.
How y'all missed that? I want to know why this is the second time he's been the driver.
I asked him, and he said the reason being because he just lets anybody ride. And
That's not even reasonable.
And he told me, he said in the brand, he said she is a dope bitch. He said she got arrested the other day. I said, I know.
Well, that's not reasonable.
Well, to answer your question, when y'all found that stuff, was it like obviously that it didn't look like it's been pressed under there?
No, yeah, I mean,
It was out of place. It was clean. It was, as far as, you know what I mean, it didn't look like it's been there for a couple days. It looked like it was just put there.
Little shards?
Yeah.
They clean?
Well, where it was at, you're sitting in the driver's seat, you've got a wide center console. Wouldn't have been nothing for him to go like this.
Sure.
right.
It would get all that mess in there.
I think maybe they won't find it.
It's a mess. What's the container look like?
It's those little pill capsule container things. You know those things we keep finding on people? It looks like it's got a metal top, plastic bottom,
Pill.
and they
Yeah.
keep a pill in it.
Yep. Yeah.
Like the nitro type.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are.
No, like the,
This is Rolf. It's a small little clear plastic and a blue top. You can put like a pill or two in there, and
no, it's just a pill. You buy it, it's a performance enhancing pill.
is that what that is?
Yes.
Oh.
Remember, that's what,
It's a container.
yes, for it. We've stopped a bunch of people that'll have it
Got
comes in a package, container.
So you said it's a
Pills inside.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now?
So it's a performance enhancer.
Something like that.
Okay, and he also has workout supplements in the. Okay. Look, man. I guess I'm just gonna take him.
I'd take it,
They're
dude.
two brand new jugs. Strange.
I would,
Just take him.
yeah, I would just take it.
I'm just gonna take him.
There's no way that a reasonable person
Right.
would think that she would be able to throw, and there's no way to throw it under the seat.
That's true.
Because there's
You're
a
right.
bunch of mechanisms
You're right.
and stuff under the seat.
What's his history?
He went to prison in 2004 for I think manufacturing methamphetamine.
Nah. Yeah. So in other words, he's been in the ball game for a long time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get someone to send her pack, and I'm gonna tow the vehicle. Because she can't drive it.
No license.
Well, the vehicle.
That comment we heard right there from one of the backup officers, that means you've been in the game a long time. Had you previously said on here, and you've testified in court, that you've had a prior criminal history, 4 prior felonies, correct?
Yes, sir.
You said on this video that what year was was it that you mentioned here on this video that last time you'd been in trouble?
2004.
Had you been involved in drugs from '04 to when this was in 18?
No, sir.
So you hadn't been in the game a long time continually, correct?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video?
Isn't
They did
orange? They did come back. They found a registration for it. Yeah, it's just got a different tag number on it.
Okay.
So we'll tow it.
Okay.
We'll haul him in, we'll knock out your inventory.
I sure appreciate that.
Tell her to.
Yeah.
Her boots look like they're made for
2
walking.
days in a row, you taking care of it.
I appreciate that, Ross.
Trevor, what your friends are.
That's right, buddy. Well, you know, we had a nice hour-long conversation in the parking lot this morning, Ross.
I need my cuffs, Chief.
That made me sleep better.
Are they on him?
No.
Wow. These things I've seen of quite a few folks.
Hey, mine falling out. Procedure, that's what I should have done today.
All right, look, man, you are going to jail for possession of methamphetamine today. Okay. Your vehicle's going to be towed because it doesn't have the proper tag on it. And I couldn't release it to her anyways because she doesn't have a valid driver's license. Nothing in your hat, right? Nothing in the bill of your hat or anything, man.
Man, that's not my stuff,
This,
man. That's not hers.
Right.
That's not mine.
Let's have a real talk real quick, okay? Listen,
We
man.
are. I'm telling you, it's not mine.
This is the second time I pulled you over and everything. Your car. You got to be careful who you let in your car, man. I'm serious. I understand that's a work truck.
You're arresting me for a felony. I'm going to jail. I'm probably going to lose my job. Man, this is wrong, dude. This is bad wrong.
But there's
It's
crystal
not-
methamphetamine in your truck, man. You see what I'm
There's
saying?
no way possible, man, that... Dude, I don't do drugs, man. I'm telling you the truth. Honest. I do not do drugs.
So you're thinking it's somebody that's ridden in that vehicle.
Dude, I don't know, man. But I don't know. But there's no reason for that to be in my vehicle.
I agree. It shouldn't be in your vehicle.
Man.
Let me lock these cuffs so they don't tighten up on you, man, when you get in the back here.
Man. I swear on my life, man. That's not...
And I ask everybody this, nothing
That's right.
concealed anywhere, right? All right. Actually, let's go to this side over here. You a little bit of feel some air conditioning on that side.
Hey, Clever, go home, please.
Yeah, she wanted to.
Judge, may I speak with Mr. Davis briefly?
Yes.
Judge, that's all of this video that I intend to publish, though all of it will remain as an exhibit.
Any further questions?
Were you taken to the jail on this, Mr. Fears?
Yes, sir.
How long were you in jail for?
Just overnight, I got out like 9 o'clock the next morning.
A moment, please. That's all I have, Judge.
Mr. Davis?
Mr. Davis, do you want this up or minimized?
You can take it down. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Fears.
Morning.
A couple questions for you. You said you had just picked up your wife from work,
Yes, sir.
and where was she working at the time?
At a Greenwood grocery store?
Greenwood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said you guys were going to Walmart to get a money order or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And back when you got stopped, how long had you said you'd had that vehicle for what, about a year or so at that point?
Yes, sir. Around a year. Yes, sir.
Okay. And And you were able to watch the entire video on the screen there in front of you, correct?
Yes.
And I'm assuming this is not the first time you've watched this, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And so we had one deputy pull you over and another one showed up pretty quickly after that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And was that other deputy, was that Trevor Lee?
Yes.
Okay. And it was Trevor Lee that was speaking with you, and you gave Deputy Lee permission to search the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we also saw in the video, it was Deputy Lee who found that little plastic container thing underneath the passenger seat, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I know the prosecutor was asking you about the movements of the other deputies, starting on one side, going to that side. But did you hear in the video when Deputy Lee asked the other deputy to go look on the back side there?
Yes.
And then, not Lee, but the other deputy moves then back to the driver's side, correct?
Repeat that again.
I said the other deputy, so Deputy Lee asked the other deputy to come look in the back seat, correct?
Yes.
And then nothing is found at that point, and the other deputy goes back to the driver's side, correct?
Yes.
And then it's later, Deputy Lee finds it under the seat.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the other deputy plant anything in your car?
No, sir.
Did you see Deputy Lee plant anything in your car?
No, sir.
But this was not the first time that you had seen these two deputies, correct?
No, sir.
In fact, they had found narcotics in your car with somebody else not too long before this, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I believe on the video you talk about you having used methamphetamine before, correct?
Yes.
Back in 2004?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on the video it also says that's why you went to prison, correct?
I didn't go to prison.
Oh, you didn't go to prison, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
But were convicted of manufacturing methamphetamine.
Yes.
And that was in 2004?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you went to jail that night and you bonded out the next morning?
Yes, sir.
And you were, let's see, you were arrested on June 3rd of 2018, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember when your charges were dropped?
I can't remember the exact date. I don't remember. It was a couple months after.
Okay. Did you ever see the document that was filed dropping the charges in your case?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, if I showed it to you and had a date on it, would that help refresh your memory of when the charges were dropped?
Yes, sir.
If I can approach. Don't read it out loud, just take your time. Take a look at it. Do you see the date there that the charges were dropped against you?
Yes.
What's that date?
Says 10th of July, 2018.
Okay. And does it say the reason why the charges were dropped?
So cannot be be proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
Do you see who signed that document dropping the charges against you?
Christina Pumphrey.
Thank you. So you were arrested on June 3rd of 2018, and the charges were dropped on July 10th of 2018, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever go to court or anything?
No, sir.
And do you have a civil suit pending in this action?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you sued Zachary Wester
Yes, sir.
and Trevor Lee?
No, sir.
No, sir. Just Zachary Wester?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Sheriff's Department?
Sheriff's Department.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Williams?
Why are you suing them civilly?
Because I sold every damn thing I had to keep my roof over my head. I sold everything I had that was worth anything.
You told the deputy on that video that you were going to lose your job over this and that you felt it was wrong, correct?
Yes, sir.
You still feel that way? You
Yes,
still
sir.
feel like this was wrong?
Yes, sir, it is wrong.
Just because you did something back in 2004, does that mean that you were doing it in 2018, the date of this video?
No, sir.
You said on that video that you've worked hard to stay clean since then, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Davis asked you about this other backup deputy, Trevor Lee, asking Deputy Wester, the other deputy, to go to the back passenger side of the car, correct?
Repeat that again.
Do you remember Mr. Davis, the defense attorney, asked you whether you saw on that video and heard the other deputy ask Deputy Wester to go around to the back passenger side of that car, correct?
Yes, sir.
But at that point on the video, do you see, I mean, were you able to see this video? Were you able to see if Deputy Wester found anything when he was in that back part of the car?
No, sir.
Okay. And then after he was there and went back to the driver's side, did you hear Mr. Wester ask Deputy Lee if the seat on his side scoops up like his was?
Yes, sir.
And after that, did you see on the video Deputy Lee hear him make reference to finding something? Only after that.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's all, Judge.
Mr. Davis?
Nothing further.
All right. Mr. Fears, you're going to remain under subpoena in case we need to recall you in this case. Thus, you don't need to talk with anybody about your testimony here today or the questions you were asked. Just in case we need to recall you, you are still under subpoena. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. State, let's get one more before our break. Who would you like to call?
Jade Fears.
Jade?
Jade.
Jade Fears? Jury, we're going to get one more in here and then we'll take a little break. Ms. Fears, if you'll raise your right hand, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead and sit down. Thank you, Ms. Fears. Ms. Fears, if you'll make sure you speak up. The jury is out here where the audience normally sits. In these masks, it can be difficult to hear. Make sure you speak up. If you hear an objection, pause your testimony, and I'll tell you how to go forward, okay? Mr. Williams?
Good morning. Would you state your name for the record?
Jade Fears.
All right. Ms. Fears, we previously heard testimony from James Christopher Fears. Who is he to you?
My husband.
Do you remember riding with him and getting pulled over here in Jackson County on June 3rd, 2018?
Yes, sir.
Was that in the Walmart parking lot here?
Yes, sir.
Now, where were you coming from, you and your husband, and where were you going?
We were coming from Greenwood, and we were going to Mariana.
I'm sorry?
We were coming from Greenwood, going to Mariana.
Okay. And do your best. I know we've got these masks on. It may be a little easier if you scoot a little bit closer to that microphone. I know it's hard. But thank you. All right. Leaving Greenwood, going to Mariana. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is that when you were pulled over by a sheriff's deputy?
Yes, sir.
Now, as you were pulled over, were you making any kind of movements or moving things around in the car?
No, sir.
You've seen the video that's previously been entered into evidence of the search of this car, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you remember being there during that incident?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The blue container that you were shown on video and during this search, had you ever seen that before?
No, sir.
Did you see your husband during that stop or immediately before moving his arms or moving anything and placing it under a seat?
No, sir.
Did he have methamphetamine in that little container?
No, sir.
Was that his or yours?
No, sir.
Had you ever seen it before the defendant showed it to you?
No, sir.
Nothing else, Judge.
Mr. Davis?
Did you see either of the deputies planned anything in the vehicle?
Not while they were searching it, no.
Okay. And when your husband was in here testifying previously, there was some talk about a time where he'd been pulled over before, not too long before this stop. Were you with him then?
No, sir.
Okay. But you knew he was pulled over and there was somebody else in the car with methamphetamine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further.
Anything else, Mr. Williams?
No, Judge.
Ms. Fears, you are still under subpoena and subject to recall. Thus, I don't want you to talk with anybody about your testimony here today or the questions you were asked, as you may be called again as a witness in this case. So don't talk about the case until the case is over, okay?
Okay.
Thank
Yes,
you, Ms.
sir.
Fears. All right, jury, it is 10:50. We're going to take a 15-minute recess. We'll probably break for lunch between 12 and 12:30 today, based on how long the court anticipates the next witness may be. So again, make sure that you have a little snack potentially in your stomach if you get hungry closer to 11 than 12, because it's probably going to be between 12 and 12:30 that we break for lunch. If you'll be back in here at 11:05 or back in the jury room at 11:05, you're still not allowed to talk with each other about the case or anybody else. Don't do any research. Look up any maps, look up any newspaper articles.